Hey, welcome back to my channel. No, I don't want to be that kind of. I'm so nervous if you can't tell. I don't usually talk like showing my face. I've maybe done that 5 times in like the whole time I've been on Instagram. Like it just makes me kind of nervous, but I'm branching out. Today I'm going to show you guys how to make a tattered pixie skirt in 3 different ways. So the first way is going to be using a sewing machine, and if you don't have a sewing machine, that's okay, because the next 2 ways do not use a sewing machine. That way, if you don't know how to sew, that's totally fine. Like obviously it will help you when it comes to reinforcing the stitching and stuff like that, but like since we're going for a tattered pixie look, we're just gonna do like knots, and like it doesn't matter if it frays or if anything gets ripped. Like we're gonna try to rip it. We're gonna try to make this look very emphasis on the word tattered. We're trying to tatter this up big time. Like we're just going for something nice and rugged. So today I'm going to show you guys how to do that, and if you like it, give it a thumbs up. Thanks. Let's do this. Because I'm balling on a budget, I don't have all of the resources and materials available that I would need to make every single one of these, and I don't really need to make every single one of these. This is more of just like a brainstorm, like to help you think of ways to do it based on your budget. So I don't need to make myself 3 skirts. I'm just going to show you like the generalized idea of like what I've thought of and what are some good ideas. But on YouTube there were a lot that were just like really detailed, and like I didn't want to do all those extra steps. Like I just needed to tie something and have all this stuff hanging and just make it look real, just thrown together, but like hold on to itself, because I didn't want my skirt like falling apart when I'm walking around the fair. So that's a lot of unnecessary backstory that I just gave you. So I'm going to go ahead and put markers on where you can just skip all of that and just get right into us making the skirt. So let's go. Here's your waistband ties. This is the first one. You're going to make 2 like this, and you're going to make them the same width as your belt on the left side, and then you're going to make it into a point on the right side. So this is what you're going to tie it with. Now we're going to sew these on, and they sort of line up a little bit. Okay, now we do the other side. To show you real quickly in case you're interested, that was my serger machine, and the serger does like a different kind of stitching. So I don't know if you can see it on here or not. I'm not sure if it's, there we go. I don't know if you can see it there. And it's a lot faster, so I like to use that. Now we have our waistband, so that will go around us here, and this is how I did my first one, and it ties. There's your waistband. Now that you've got your skirt, waistband and stuff done, now what you're going to do is add your longest panels. So you're going to cut like squares and like long rectangles and stuff, and you're just going to sew on the little parts there, the little corners, because you want them to like drape and flow. Here's my skirt, and I lifted up some of the shorter layers so that you could kind of see the longer layers here on the bottom. They're basically just super long rectangles, and then I only sewed the little tiny corner up here on the top. I did not stitch all along it, so when it goes down it goes very open, and it gives a lot of like filling in the skirt. So I did a bunch of long ones in all different colors, and I tied knots in some of them, so like some of the thinner ones, just to add like texture you know, we added some sparkles, added some leather on these. This one I hot glued like flowers on it. And there's like a little butterfly. Adding some vines. And then for this one, since I was sewing it on my sewing machine, I did do the serged edge just because I was being lazy and I didn't want to like sew it on my sewing machine. So I did the serged edge, and I did sandwich these together, these two panels. So my waistband, I made it extra big, like 2 times this, and then folded it in half. But I did have to go and do a basting stitch, which is a very long stitch just to hold the layers in place. So like I did my bottom row first, and I basted all those on, and then I did my next row where I added some like shorter ones and some greens and like some more little knots and stuff. And then when I did the next row, I added more like tied greens on it, and I added some other textures so that it wasn't just like one thing. So I have like silk, I have like some sparkly sweaters, whatever this was from like a curtain or something, like sweater stuff, more flowers hot glued on there. And then wait, oh yeah, you can see right here I didn't do the basting stitch right. I did a zigzag stitch. I don't remember why I did that, but that was each layer. So that's my big flowy skirt, and that's the sewing version. Okay, this is the next one. This is number 2. For number 2, you're going to get like a big t-shirt, and what we're going to do is we are going to cut all, I can't hold it. We're going to cut all along the side here. I'm struggling. Let's see. It doesn't matter if it's perfect. We don't want it perfect. We want it raggedy. They're going to cut across the neck here on the top. So we split it up the side entirely. Here's where the front neck would have been, and we cut all on the side. So now it's just open, very nice, big and open. This is a really old shirt, if you could tell. Okay, and then what we can do with this, oh yeah, that'd be nice, is we're going to cut all along these edges down here. You're going to stretch the top of it out as far as you can, stretch, and then check and see if it fits your waist. So this one will. Okay, nice. And now we are going to cut all of this. We're just going to cut, snip, snip, snip. Bye! We're going to tug and stretch. Ooh. We can even just rip them. So here is our next one. And what you can do with this one is you can use acrylic paint, you can use tie-dye, you can use like fabric pens, and you can tie on any other like fabric that you want. You can do smaller strips, you can do bigger strips, you can hot glue flowers and moss and all that other kind of stuff. So I would totally have done this if I knew about it a while back. So I don't want to cut this because I'm probably going to use it for something else. So next one, you want to get elastic. This braided elastic that you can get from Walmart around your waist, and then you can either cut it here and then hand stitch it around you, so it's like you can use like a needle and thread to hand stitch it here, or honestly you could just tie it. Just tie it in a knot, okay, and then clip it here and then pull it really tight right here so that it stays. Get a nice long, any piece of fabric that you want that's long. You're going to fold it in half, then you're going to take the loop, you're going to fold it right here above the top, and you're going to push both of these through it. Pull them out, and you have one little thing right there. Do that all the way around. You can use like this stuff from Walmart, which is like decorative trim. You can tie decorative trim on it, and then of course hot glue on the flowers and the moss. I would love to see pictures if you guys do end up making these. Please tag me in them. I am tinker.tess on Instagram, and I'm also here on YouTube now as well. It's a bit scary being here on YouTube, I'm not gonna lie. It's a little bit daunting. I feel like I'm not good enough to be here. I feel like I don't know what I'm talking about. I have no clue what I'm doing, and I definitely should not be giving anybody any instruction. But here I am anyways. those are the 3 tattered pixie skirts ideas that if you're on a budget and you don't want to spend a lot or don't have a sewing machine and stuff like that, all you need is a hot glue gun, and then you can get crafty with whatever stuff you have. Any old shirts, old skirts that you have. Some fabrics do fray, and you can, that looks even, you know, that looks good with the look too. Like, go through your closet, find any old skirts, old shirts and stuff like that that you don't want to use anymore, and add those to your skirt. You know, the bigger the better. Like, the more floofy, the better. So, oh my gosh, you need to stop. That's enough. No more talking, okay? Okay, this stuff is so fun to make. I just don't have a reason to make 3 more skirts. So I hope my instructions were clear and that it inspires you to make something. But remember, even if your art is not that great, please don't stop creating, okay? Please don't stop. Keep doing it. All right, bye.